What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our ACC football channel. Preview the ACC championship game, Virginia versus Clemson, in a game where Clemson is a huge favorite. This is maybe one of the biggest conference championship game spreads that there have ever been. I don't have any information, any data on that, but this is huge underdog. Let's just say Virginia is a huge underdog in this game. Do they have any shot? Do they have any shot to shock the world and pull off the upset? The game will be at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central Time on ABC. It'll be the ABC primetime game. Clemson favored by 28 points right now. I saw that as high as 29 points. 55.5 is the over-under on this game. That is a huge number. 28 points for two teams that are ranked in the top 25 of the playoff ranking. And you see Virginia, they only have 3 losses, and they were close in those games. This team could easily be 10-2, 11-1 at this time. And again, Clemson, just the way they've been playing lately, I think Vegas is just assuming they are going to go steamroll this team. It's an interesting psychological dynamic here for Clemson. When you hear Dabo go out there and talk about how the playoff committee doesn't respect him and all that, will that fire his team up? Will they come out and play really motivated? Or is it a distraction? Are they going to be worrying about the playoff and not even worried about Virginia because they're so much better than them? They're huge favorites. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that if Clemson does not pay attention, if they do not put all their focus into this game, Virginia is capable of playing with them. This is a good team. I've been high on them since the preseason. And this could, I think, be an interesting game if Clemson is not totally 100% focused. You see the points per game, huge advantage for Clemson, 45.3 compared to 33.7 points allowed per game. Clemson really, really good on defense. Virginia, and not so good at 23.5 points per game. Total yards per game, Clemson with a huge advantage there. Through the air, surprisingly, Virginia's had a pretty good year through the air, 261 yards. We think about Bryce Perkins as being a running quarterback, but he can throw it as well, and that'll be maybe one of the keys to this game is his ability to throw the football on the ground. Clemson actually has a huge advantage, 256 yards per game rushing compared to 128. Yards allowed, big advantage there again for Clemson, 232 yards per game, 336 yards per game for Virginia. And Virginia has played a little bit tougher schedule. I will give them that. They played Notre Dame, they played Virginia Tech. Clemson did not play those two teams, although Clemson did play Texas A&M. But I think that the schedules aren't too much difference there. Passing yards allowed, Clemson's been very good there. Against the run, both of these teams are good against the run, and that will be interesting. If Virginia can get out there and they can stop Travis Etienne and this rushing attack for Clemson and force Trevor Lawrence to beat them. We know Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. Remember earlier in the year, he was throwing the ball to the wrong team a lot, and if they can get to him and maybe force a couple of interceptions, I think Virginia has a chance to hang around in this game. I know most people are going to think that's crazy, but I really feel like they will hang around at least for a little bit. I think they will do a good job against this Clemson running game. I really believe in this Virginia run defense, so I think they do a nice job there. We've seen Clemson be pretty big favorites in ACC championships in the past and almost lose. So that's there for Virginia as well. I ultimately don't think the Cavaliers are going to be able to pull this one out, though. I think Clemson's just too good. Trevor Lawrence and all these receivers, when it comes down to crunch time in the second half, I think Clemson gets their head on straight. They play better on both sides of the ball. So I think Virginia's going to hang around in this game for a while. I think the game will be, people will be surprised at the score at halftime. It'll be, yeah, Clemson will be ahead, but they won't be ahead by much. It'll be a one-possession game at halftime, but in the second half, I think Clemson gets it going a little bit, and they wind up pulling away. But I do think it'll be closer than the experts think. I have Clemson winning it 38-20. Again, look for Virginia's run defense to be a key in this game. Can they stop Clemson on the ground? If they can and force them to be one-dimensional, yes, Trevor Lawrence can beat them. But at the same time, he could maybe make some mistakes, and they can maybe turn the ball over, and that's going to be the key for Virginia. Can they force a couple of interceptions, and can they do enough on offense, and can they stay balanced on offense to put up some points in this game against a very good Clemson defense? I don't think they score much more than 20, and again, I'm going to go with Clemson 38-20.